Hello folks, today I am staying in the weirdest but arguably most convenient hotel here at London Gatwick Airport. As you can see, I am in the South Terminal. That is international arrivals there, and the hotel I'm staying with is there. It's the Yotel at London Gatwick Airport. Yotel as in Yo Sushi, the sushi people. Apparently they have a chain of hotels, and there's one right there, right next to within the terminal, and we're staying in it tonight, and we're going to have a little look around. And I already know where I'm getting my breakfast from tomorrow morning. Two choices, in fact, a Wetherspoons or a Costa's. As a not a massive fan of Wetherspoons, I imagine it's going to be a Costa breakfast for me, but our hotel is just literally down in this elevator. So there is international arrivals right ahead of me. I'm actually flying from the North Terminal. I am going to have to get on the airport shuttle to get my flight first thing in the morning, but other than that, it's pretty convenient. So we come out of the lift here, and the hotel is there. Yotel, London Gatwick. And just the other side of that, there is reception, and I'm a little bit afraid because I don't want to walk through reception with my camera, so I'll meet you the other side of reception. I've already checked in. So we are in, and as you can see into all of the rooms as you come down here. This one's mine, number 8. So we're going to very quickly check in where it's safe, because there's so many people wandering up and down those corridors. I need to find a way to switch on the lights. Look, even while we're in here, the corridor is still right there. When I first got into the room, I went to the toilet, which is over here, and didn't think to shut the blinds. And obviously I'm stood there going to the toilet with a mirror, and opposite the mirror, a corridor, and somebody walked past. And I hope they didn't see my pee-pee. Right, there are lighting options, so let's try and find one that illuminates the room enough for me to be able to show you around. That one's not bad. Yeah, not ideal. Nope. I think the first one's probably the best one. There we go. So we are in. I am back against the door, and you can then see the entire room. I was surprised when I got in. Now I know this was it was advertised as a low-cost airport, basically capsule hotel. It's not completely a capsule hotel, as you can see, although the room I booked was actually a single room, and I think it's probably because they saw the size of me when I came to check in. They upgraded me to a double room, which was very nice of them. I can't imagine how small the single rooms must be. Walking down this corridor, they're all doubles down here, so I don't know where to go and rummage to find the singles. And again, don't want to get in trouble with reception because I'm a coward. But yeah, there is my bed, which, as you can see at the moment, is basically a sofa. There's a little control panel deal here, which is what I've just used to control the lights. And presumably I can also use it to control the bed. In fact, does that make the lights brighter if I mess with that? Nope. There must be a way to get this bed to come out unless I just pull it by hand. We'll figure that out in a moment. But at the moment, it's up in its sofa position. You've got these couple of little storage areas next door. So just a table, which again has some buttons on. They might be the buttons for the bed. Luckily, there is a plug under there. One of the first things I check when I come in a hotel as a CPAP user. Need to make sure I can plug my CPAP machine in, because dying in my sleep is an important thing for me to avoid. Less storage that side, although you do have loads of storage under here, under the bed, where you could put a couple of big pieces of luggage down there. These blinds, if you're worried about the windows, there are blinds, so you don't have to be open to the corridor. What you will notice is there's no windows in here at all. So, I mean, the idea being, firstly, I imagine it's a cost-saving thing, not having to get yourself set up so there can be windows, but also it means you can just check in here at any point during the day and night. You pay by the hour, which isn't necessarily as seedy as it sounds when it's at an airport, because it's ideal for people who are doing layovers at the airport. It's within the terminal. So I guess if you are arriving at that international arrivals desk that we've just seen, whatever time of the day or night, you can come in here, book for as long as you need to then be up for your next flight, and just catch a little bit of sleep, have a shower, and then move on. I don't think it's a hotel that is intended for people to spend even as long in it as I'm staying in it. I need to check out at like 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I've checked in at 6. So I've got 12 hours in here, which is probably going to set some kind of record for the longest anyone has ever stayed in this hotel. But, well, that's fine. It gives us time to explore. So over this side of the room, we have a nice little floor-to-ceiling mirror with a couple of coat hangers at the top there, so I can get tomorrow's outfit out and make sure it's not all creased when I get on my plane. We've then got a TV, quite a small TV, but it's quite a small room. So, you know, we don't need a massive TV. You can certainly see that from the bed. And what I thought was a nice little touch as well is there is a place down here to plug headphones in. Not that I imagine many people have headphones that would need to be plugged in anymore, or that are able to be plugged in. I don't, my headphones are just Bluetooth. But then you can watch the TV in the middle of the night when everyone else is sleeping, which is probably quite handy. I have checked the rooms all around me. There's no one else in here at 6:30 in the evening, so I don't feel too bad about talking in my room. I wouldn't do this in the middle of the night, or if there were loads of other people trying to sleep all around me. But then underneath the TV, you have a little table. It's like being in a caravan. Everything kind of folds away. So you've got a little work desk there where you can sit and work, and there is a little chair, a little WWE style chair hanging on the wall that you can obviously pull out and sit at the little table and do some work or makeup or hair or whatever you might want to do. Or I guess when the bed pulls out, you could actually use that table as well. That just folds back in there, and plenty of plug sockets there. As you can see, we've got 4 sockets plus what look like phone sockets. I don't actually know how old this hotel is. I assumed it was relatively new, but for there to be phone sockets, again, not something you necessarily need in 2023. The room did come with free Wi-Fi, which is handy because the signal in here on phone is basically non-existent. As you saw from outside, we're not completely underground, but we're under an airport, and so there's not much in the way of a phone signal down here. What we have got though, which is another surprise feature, is I'm assuming this is air conditioning. It's comfort cooling. I assume it works the same way as air conditioning. I like a very cold room, so we're going to turn that down as far as it will go and see what happens. And then we come in fact, before we get to the bathroom, we've got what looks like a little menu. So they've got a to-go menu. You can eat and drink with us. To order from this menu, contact Mission Control, which is what they call reception. The guy did say when I checked in that there's free tea, coffee or hot chocolate. Just go down to Mission Control and they will make one of those for you. And you can also order a breakfast for your checkout time in the morning, which I'm not bothering with because obviously I'm going to go to Costa. We've just seen it upstairs, but it is interesting that they do have some of the Yo sushi stuff. I said there was no sushi. I mean, there isn't any sushi, but they have got wasabi peanuts and Yo fried chili crackers. So we're almost there. Not quite, but we're almost there. They've got Chicago Town pizzas. £10.95 a Chicago Town pizza, soft drink and an ice cream. You know what? For an airport, that's not bad price-wise. And then the bathroom. So again, lots of mirrors. Mirrors, obviously important in a small room like this to make it feel bigger than it actually is. We've got a couple of glasses. The guy did say the water is drinkable. So we have drinking water and also somewhere to plug in electric toothbrushes, electric shavers, and presumably nothing in this little cupboard apart from a spare toilet roll, which is always handy. They have Urban Jungle toiletries. So that's your hand and body wash. And then through here, we've got a second hand and body wash and also a shampoo. More mirrors everywhere. What is interesting as well is the shower curtain situation or lack of. There's nothing that comes across this area, so you can't really have somebody doing poopies at the same time as someone in the shower, or unless you want to hold hands while you do it, that's available. But we do have this door that comes across here to shut off the shower area, but obviously still not great on privacy. You've got this curtain, but it can only be operated from the outside. So again, if someone was in there having a shower, you could obviously have a little peep. Although I imagine if you're sharing a double room, you're allowed to see each other naked anyway. But you must make sure that if you're in the shower, you've either got that curtain across or got that blind shut, because otherwise people in the corridor can see your rude zones. If we head back in here to the shower though, it looks like a pretty decent one. Rainfall shower out of the ceiling, which is always my favourite. And then for those who don't like them, which I know Anna sometimes despairs with those because she doesn't want to get her hair wet, you do have what I like to refer to as the butthole shower head. So you can clean your downstairs as well. Set up perfectly for Anna's height as well, which is ideal. And that, boys and girls, is the entire room. Now we need to try and figure out how to get this bed out. It's going to be fun. Right, so I'm assuming one of these buttons over here is going to operate the bed. Does this? Oh, something's happening. Right, it's this button here. And as you can see, the bed is now moving. It is properly creaking as it does it, but it is moving. I am very interested to see how big this is when it's done, because there is a lot of me. I usually hang off the side of beds. But there we have the bed in its flattened position, which, I mean, that doesn't look too bad, to be honest. You can still get the table out, I think. You wouldn't be able to get your legs in, but you can stand stuff on there. There's not a huge amount of room to move around now the bed is set up. I can see why they do that as a space-saving thing, but also because it gives you somewhere to sit as well, which is always a problem in a budget hotel, having somewhere to actually just sit and watch the TV, so you're not just lying in bed. But this doubles as both TV, sitting area, sofa, and also bed. But let's see. My worry is I'm going to be able to feel that crease in the middle of the bed. I mean, as you can see, my feet hang off the bottom. It's not uncomfortable. It's not very wide at all. I think me and Anna in here together, it would be a bit of a tight squeeze. Obviously, we are both more on the cuddly side. So for two slimmer people, you'd fit in there comfortably, especially if you like to sleep cozy. But if you are a little bit bigger, then it's going to be a tight squeeze in there. I am glad they've upgraded me, because I can't imagine how small the single bed must be. I kind of want to go and find one, but I don't know where they are. Worth noting as well, the bed is very high off the floor because it's got that luggage storage space underneath. My feet are dangling and I'm 6'2". So again, Anna at 5 feet tall is probably going to need a step ladder to get up onto this bed. But it was soft enough, comfortable enough. Couldn't feel the join. And assuming you can completely black out this room and this air conditioning starts to work, because it is warm in here and it doesn't seem to be cooling down. But I think this is a perfectly acceptable and comfortable place to literally just come and sleep. That's all it's for, to sleep. I've got an early flight tomorrow morning. I've got to be back over at the North Terminal by 6 a.m. I can't think of a more convenient way to be able to do that than staying in a hotel in the terminal. There weren't any budget options in the North Terminal, but if you've been to Gatwick before, it's a 3-minute shuttle ride on the little shuttle train, which presumably runs at all hours of the day. So it's going to be super easy to get over there in the morning, super convenient. I'm already parked up over near the North Terminal, where I'm going to be landing when I come back in a few days. So to me, this is pretty much perfect. I'm probably going to head upstairs in a bit, maybe head to the Wetherspoons for some dinner tonight, or see what other options there are in there. I think there's a WH Smith for boots. You can't get past security at this point. We are landside, so we don't have the full range of airport shops and restaurants and things that you'd get if it was the other side past security. But obviously if it's past security, I wouldn't be able to be in there yet, and I'm in the wrong terminal anyway, so it's for the best. Now, price-wise, it is, although it's classed as a budget hotel, it is not what I would consider cheap. But bearing in mind, we're not in London, but it is London Gatwick. It's the second biggest airport in the country, one of the bigger, busier airports in Europe, in the world. I mean, I'm clutching a little bit there, I don't actually know, but it's a big, busy airport. So airport hotels are expensive. We know this from prior experience. And this one you can book by the hour, I've booked the full overnight because I'm in here for I've officially booked from 3 p.m. to 7 a.m. although I've got here at 6 and I'll be leaving well before 7. And that's cost me on a Thursday night in July, not in the school holidays, £169, which obviously is not cheap. There are hotels 5 miles away from the airport that you could probably get for half that price, but then you have the hassle the next morning of having to get from the hotel to the airport. I'm already here, so I could get up at, my flight's at 8 a.m. I could get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. If I shower tonight, get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, quick brush of the teeth, get dressed, and be at security in the other terminal by 6:30 and comfortably make my flight. So for me, it's worth paying that little bit extra for the convenience and also the novelty. It is fun to stay in such a weird little hotel. There's a couple of other weird ones. There's one just across the way in the same terminal that I might check out the next time I'm here. But I think it's cool. I like it. And I mean, it's not the most expensive hotel I've ever stayed in. But for comparison, I'm going to be spending the next 2 nights in Paris, and I'm not paying much more for 2 nights in Paris at a much bigger, much nicer hotel that you'll see in a few days for not much more than 1 night here. So budget, but cool and fun. And I just wish there was sushi, but I think that will do for now. If I do manage to find any of the single rooms to show you, I'll edit that in here, but I can only assume they're even smaller than this. And I think that's probably why they upgraded me to this one, because I doubt I would have fitted. But we will leave it there. Like I say, videos coming up over the next week or 2 of the trip that I'm now going on. In fact, you might have already seen the first one. I'm going to Paris for TwitchCon. So keep an eye out for those. Let me know other weird little airport hotels around the country that I could stay in. We're doing a lot more travel now. It does involve some early mornings at airports. We've already done one at Luton, which you can watch there. Tell me what more there is that we can go and find out. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on, all that good stuff. And I will see you again very soon. Thanks for watching.